Hey guys, welcome back to 5nothing100nothing.com. I am Fugget, and that stands for the fittest underdog guru using intelligent tactics. And today, guys, I want to talk to you and do a little walkthrough of a book that I wrote several years ago called A Trainer's Dozen: 13 Principles for Personal Training Success. All right, so interesting side note here. I published this book, right, and did the book cover myself, as well as all of the editing, internal work, etc., including some pictures and what have you. Now, when I did that was the first book that I didn't use anybody with any book cover art or formatting expertise or anything. I decided to just do it myself and see what would happen. All right, so now where I get the title from, A Trainer's Dozen. Well, I was in the gym and I was training a lady, and she was doing a seated cable row, and so she stopped at what I thought was 11 reps, and I was like, "You got one more?" She goes, "No, that was 12." I said, "Oh." She goes, "Oh my God, none of you trainers can count." So I said, "Fine, give me a trainer's dozen." So if she thought it was 12, then give me one more, which would have made 13, right? So that gets taken from an oldie but a goodie, a baker's dozen. And so most people know intuitively that that means to give 13 instead of 12. So I was looking for where that came from, a baker's dozen. And what I found was in my research that it goes back to the 13th century under King Henry III. And I guess there was a real issue with bakers shorting customers and giving them 10 or 11 instead of 12 when they wanted a dozen. So he made the punishment pretty severe. And the punishment was that he would cut off the baker's hand if they shorted the customers. So bakers, fearing for the severe punishment, decided to start putting 13 instead of 12 just because they didn't want any hassle from people that were gonna accuse them of shorting them, right? So it sounds like a pretty good idea to me. So what I did was, when I just off the top of my head said, "Hey, well, then give me a trainer's dozen," it kind of planted a seed, and I started to think about how in any service-oriented industry, and in my case, personal training, those that go above and beyond, that give 13 instead of 12, are the ones that usually succeed and can endure most climates, right? Economic climates and changes in markets and what have you. So it inspired me to write the book, and what I did was I wrote the 13 principles, so there's 13 chapters. And the reason I wrote it was I was experiencing the kind of growth in my business where every 2 years I was doubling my income. It was really exploding. And I love the idea of training people hour to hour, but I knew that at some point I would burn out. And so I wanted to try to create a resource that could produce income while I wasn't working. So if that was DVDs, videos, or books, then this was going to be a really nice stream of passive income. Plus, I could, assist and help other fitness professionals if they want to up their game as well. So I had the chance to present the book on a national and international level, and it did pretty well. So I hope you enjoy. I'm going to be going over each principle, the 13, in each successive video after this. But I want to keep this short, give you a little intro. Hope you enjoy the series. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care.